Want to know what Canadians eat? What is traditional Canadian food? Are you eager to know what food is typical for the USA? What is their traditional food? You'll see what you can't miss when you're in Canada or in the USA. Incredible top most popular food in these countries. We'll speak about this in our video. Enjoy watching! We'll begin with Canada. This country is located in North America. Its 10 provinces and 3 territories are extended between 3 oceans. But this video is not about geography. It's about very tasty things. Let's go! Beaver tails. Kind of an odd name, but it has nothing to do with beaver or tails. Rather, this is a dessert. It's kinda like a donut. It's one of the most delicious dishes that you will find in Canada. It's essentially a big piece of fried dough, but what on the top of it is the magic. The Nutella, Reese's Pieces, sliced bananas, crumbled Oreos, cinnamon sugar and chocolate hazelnut. It's so delicious. The next dish is probably one of the most famous Canadian dishes. Its name is poutine. It's basically French fries that is topped with cheese, curds and gravy. It doesn't sound healthy, but it's extremely delicious. Of course, Canadian cuisine has got some dishes with seafood. So rich lobster is mouth-wateringly delicious on its own, but you can really taste the cold Atlantic waters around Nova Scotia when you boil it in salt water. Rosemary grilled steak is another bright example of traditional Canadian food, and by the way, very appetizing. Nanaimo bars. Nanaimo is the name of a British Columbian city in Canada, and these bars are definitely must-try items in Canada. A perfect cute little dessert for any occasions. It's not baked, it's made of 3 layers, a cracker crumb on the bottom, the custard in the middle, and a thin layer of chocolate on the top, which makes this bar creamy, sweet and crunchy. One more typically Canadian dessert is a berry pie. You are getting a taste of the prairies in this delicious berry-packed pie. What is more about baking? Sourdough bread is so popular in the Yukon that it's the inspiration for an entire festival, the Yukon Sourdough Rendezvous. Sourdough breads have a distinctive sour or tangy taste. It's so yummy. Next, Arctic char is one more Canadian toothsome fish dish. Canadians eat baked or mashed potatoes, roast beef, pork or chicken, and boiled vegetables. Avocado toast is trendy right now. In the restaurants' menus, there are appetizers, soups, salads, meat plates, burgers, and so on. A double-double is a slang term for a coffee with 2 sugars and 2 creams, only available at Tim Hortons coffee shop. Canada's national obsession, loved for its coffee and donuts. Tim Hortons sells coffee, tea, hot chocolate and soft drinks. In the mid-1990s, the chain moved into specialty and premium items such as flavored cappuccino, iced cappuccino and iced coffee. Then they introduced a frozen drink called creamy chocolate chill, which was essentially a chocolate milkshake topped with chocolate, whipped cream and drizzled with chocolate syrup. The best ketchup chips are made by Lay's and sold only in Canada. They are a masterpiece of MSG-laden zip and crunch. The beauty of Lay's ketchup chips is that they don't taste at all like actual ketchup. They taste like ketchup's component parts, without the wet. You get the slap of vinegar and citric acid, the sweet, synapse-twinkling pool of cooked tomatoes and sugar, the crunch of deep-fried potato starch, and all the lipstick and salt of a dead sea skinny dip. Most good Canadians can eat a quarter-kilogram bag in a go. Pea meal bacon. Some of you might have heard of famous Canadian bacon, and it's true. The traditional bacon, like in the USA, comes from the pork belly, but the Canadian pea meal bacon is made from trimmed, lean, boneless pork loin rolled in cornmeal. This can be eaten with eggs, pancakes, or just by itself. This is one of the most popular food in Canada. This is often served inside sandwiches, and it's very tasty, as you can judge from the face of this man. Maple syrup. The syrup comes from the sap of the maple tree. Canada supplies 80% of the world's maple syrup. Nothing is more Canadian than this gooey stuff. Now let's move on to the USA, and let's dive into the cuisine of the States. What comes first to your mind when you think of American cuisine? Here's our roundup of popular American foods that you'll find across the country. Like many things American, their cuisine also has influences from elsewhere. German, British, Italian, Dutch, French, and the Caribbean are only some of the cultures that have contributed to the food that is now considered typically American. So you'll get acquainted with American USA top 10 most popular traditional foods or dishes that you need to try must. And the first, hot dogs. Nothing complements the summer cookout or a baseball game better than an American hot dog. Although the creation is credited to German Charles Feldman, who used buds to serve German sausage. Ham sauce we refer to Frankfurter or Frank. It was Polish immigrant to serve on plates on Coney Island and turned a hot dog into a national icon. The original variations of it, for example, New York style with ketchup and relish, and Chicago style, served on a bun with absolutely no ketchup. Common garnishes include onions, sauerkraut, chill, grated cheese, bacon, and olives. Hot dog variants include the corn dog and pigs in a blanket. Apple pie. It's probably the most iconic of American foods. Apple pie was first introduced in the States by British and Dutch immigrants. However, over the years, it was transformed into a distinctly American food experience, typically served with some ice cream. It's a pie on which the principal filling ingredient is apple. It is generally double-crusted, with pastry both above and below the filling. The upper crust may be solid or latticed, woven or crosswise strips. The bottom crust may be baked separately to prevent it from getting soggy. Apple pie is an unofficial symbol of the United States and one of its signature comfort foods. Although eaten in Europe since long before the European colonization of the Americas, apple pie, as used in the phrase "as American as apple pie," describes something as being typically American. In the 19th and 20th centuries, apple pie became a symbol of American prosperity and national pride. A newspaper article published in 1902 declared that no pie-eating people can be permanently vanquished. The dish was also commemorated in the phrase "for mom and apple pie." Supposedly the stock answer of American soldiers in World War II, whenever journalists asked why they were going to war. Advertisers exploited the patriotic connection in the 1970s with the commercial jingle "Baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet." You should sample one day the apple pie with homemade short crust pastry. Simplicity is key to this traditional dish, which makes for a comforting family pudding. Macaroni and cheese, also called mac and cheese in the United States, is a dish of cooked macaroni pasta and a cheese sauce, most commonly cheddar. It can also incorporate other ingredients, such as breadcrumbs or meat. The next typical USA food is Reuben Sandwich. The classic could be Swiss cheese, corned beef, sauerkraut, and Russian dressing grilled between slices of rye bread. It was named for Arnold Reuben, founder of Reuben's New York restaurant. The next yummy thing in the USA cuisine is chocolate chip cookies. It's a drop cookie that features chocolate chips or chocolate morsels as its distinguishing ingredients. Chocolate chip cookies are often shared as a plate of cookies, with many cookies on one central plate for different eaters to take from. Chocolate chip cookies are often paired with a glass of milk. The fat particles of the milk enhance the tasting sensation of the sugar from the cookies, giving a smoother mouthfeel. The next dish on our way is buffalo chicken wings. These are fried chicken wings, then coated or dipped in a sauce consisting of a vinegar-based cayenne pepper, hot sauce, and melted butter prior to serving. It's the most popular bar foods. Buffalo wings are often called simply wings or chicken wings. It's so yummy, you should try it. And sure thing, we can't imagine the USA American cuisine without hamburgers. The popularity of the hamburger and cheeseburger in the USA is indisputable. Traditional gourmet fast food with bacon sliders, cheese, lettuce, tomato, onion, pickles, or chilies. Condiments may be ketchup, mustard, mayonnaise, or relish. A hamburger with fries is one of the most often sold and bought takeaways. The next dish will impress you: biscuits and gravy. It's a popular breakfast dish in the United States, especially in the South. Soft dough biscuits covered with meat gravy made from sausage, milk, and flour. The next USA dish is called clam chowder. In addition to clams, in this soup there are such common ingredients that include diced potatoes, salt pork, and onions. Other vegetables are not typically used. It is believed that clams were used in chowder because of the relative ease of harvesting them, and it can be served in the bread. One more, the USA's traditional food is barbecue ribs. In American cuisine, ribs usually refer to barbecue pork ribs, or sometimes beef ribs, which are served with various barbecue sauces. And it's our last USA dish for today. Hope now you have some glimpse of what American and Canadian food is. Thanks for watching.